Hello guys, we are the student of
SGPIT
we are doing a role play on
round robin algorithm.
let us introduce our team.
Myself Pragati.
I am Murlidhar. Here is my team.
Myself Pranit. Myself Malikarjun.
Myself Mohammad Zubair. Myself Mohammad Zain.
Hi.
Hi Pragati.
Where were you yesterday?
I had my family trip.
Oh great, enjoyed.
Yeah, a lot. What about yesterday's class?
We had maths class, DSC class and operating system.
Oh, as usual.
No, there was an interesting concept in operating system.
Yeah, which one?
It's none other than scheduling algorithm. That's round robin.
Oh, sounds good. That's it. I missed it.
It's okay. Let's go and meet our friends.
Hey, it's your turn.
It's fine.
Today it's my day. I'm gonna win.
Not today.
Let's see.
Come on.
Hooray!
Hi guys.
Hi.
Playing Exo game. Can I join? Yeah.
Hey guys,
Hi.
what are you guys doing?
Playing Exo game.
Oh, sounds interesting. Can I join you?
Yes, we can.
Hey Mallikarjun, did you notice something here?
What is it?
It seems to be one of the scheduling algorithm being applied here.
Which algorithm?
It's none other than round robin algorithm.
Can you explain it?
Oh, I think Pranit knows it better than me.
Okay, let me explain. Let Zubair and Zain be two processors. Until one execute, another cannot execute for a given certain of time.
Hey, did you understand?
I didn't understand.
Me too. Don't worry guys, I am here now. I will explain. Come with me, let's go.
I'm CPU. I perform computational task and my quantum time is 3 milliseconds.
I am scheduler. I will allocate the CPU to the processes.
I am process P1. My burst time is 10 milliseconds.
I am process P2. My burst time is 2 milliseconds.
I have processors P3. My burst time is 5 milliseconds.
I am process P4 and my burst time is 6 milliseconds.
Okay, here we are having 4 processes P1, P2, P3 and P4 and the CPU. It's having a quantum time of 3 milliseconds. All the 4 processes arrive at the 0 millisecond. P1 process P1, P2, P3, P4 having the burst time of 10 milliseconds, 2 milliseconds, 5 milliseconds and 6 milliseconds respectively. Then I will show you how the processes are allocated to the CPU.
I am process P1. My burst time is 10 milliseconds.
P1 process having a burst time 10 milliseconds and I am allocating the P1 process to the CPU.
Now my burst time changes to 7 milliseconds.
As the process P1 allocated to the CPU and its cover is 3 milliseconds in the CPU, now its burst time changes to 7 milliseconds. And it is going to stand in the ready queue.
I am process P2. My burst time is 2 milliseconds.
Is allocated to the CPU.
I completely complete my execution.
As the P2 having a quantum burst time of 2 milliseconds, he has completed his total execution and his now burst time changes to 0 seconds. Now process P2 is going to exit his terminate itself normally.
I am processor P3. My burst time is 5 milliseconds.
I am allotting process P3 to the CPU.
Now my burst time is 2 milliseconds.
As the P3 allocated to the CPU, its burst time changes to 2 milliseconds. And it is about to stand in the ready queue.
P4 and my burst time is 6 milliseconds.
I am allotting the process P4 to the CPU.
And now my burst time changes to 3 milliseconds.
As the process P4 completed it is 3 milliseconds in the CPU, its burst time changes to 3 milliseconds. Now it is going to stand in the ready queue. Now I will show you how the Gantt chart transformation happen. Process having a burst time 20 milliseconds. Now it is changed to 7 milliseconds. And the time spent in the CPU is about 3 milliseconds. Now the second process came is your process P2. Process P2 having a burst time of 2 milliseconds clearly, but its completed is 2 milliseconds in the CPU, and now its burst time changes to 0 milliseconds. It is going to be terminated normally. The time spent in the CPU is 3 plus 2 5 seconds. After P3 process P3 came to the allocated to the CPU. First is having a burst time of 5 milliseconds. It changes to 2 milliseconds. Then the total time spent by the CPU is 5 plus 3 8 milliseconds. Next, after P3 process, P4 process is allocated to the CPU. First, it is having a burst time of 6 milliseconds. It spends 3 milliseconds in the CPU for computational purpose. Its burst time changes to 0.3 milliseconds. Okay. Now the total time spent by the CPU is 8 plus 3 11 milliseconds. Now process P1, P3 and P4 are in ready queue.
I am process P1. My burst time is 7 milliseconds.
Process P1 is allocated to the CPU.
My burst time changes to 4 milliseconds.
As the process P1 having the 7 milliseconds first and it's completed 3 milliseconds in the CPU, and its burst time changes to 4 milliseconds, and it is going to stand in the ready queue.
I am processor P3, my burst time is 2 milliseconds.
I am allotting the process P3 to the CPU.
Now I am executing completely.
As the process P3 allocated to the CPU, its burst time changes to, it has 2 milliseconds first and it's totally completed its execution, and now its burst time changes to 0 milliseconds. And process P3 get terminated normally.
And process P4 and my burst time is 3 milliseconds.
I am allotting the process P4 to the CPU.
Now I have completely executed.
As the P4 having a burst time of 0.3 milliseconds firstly, it has executed its execution in CPU of 3 milliseconds. Now its burst time changes to 0 milliseconds. And P4 terminates normally. Process P1 execution is it turns in CPU about 3 milliseconds. And total time executed by the CPU is 11 plus 3 14 milliseconds. Now P1 process P3 is allocated to the CPU. CPU is completely terminates itself by executing its 2 milliseconds in the CPU. And the total CPU spent time is 14 plus 2 16. Now P4 is allocated to the CPU. Its burst time is 0 milliseconds as it completed its total time in the CPU. 16 plus 3 19. Now the P1 process is again in the ready queue. Then it will execute once again.
I am process P1. My burst time is 1 milliseconds.
I am allotting the process P1 to the CPU.
Now my burst time changes to 1 milliseconds.
As a P1 spent his time in 3 milliseconds in the CPU, its burst time changes to 1 millisecond. Again, it is going to stand in a ready queue.
I am process P1. My burst time is 1 milliseconds.
I am allotting the process P1 to the CPU.
My burst time changes to 0 milliseconds and I have completed my execution.
As the P1 completed his total time on CPU, then its burst time changes to 0 milliseconds. Then I will show you how the game shot should be written. Now the P1 process will execute its total time on CPU. Then the total time spent by the CPU is 22 plus 1, 23.
Now the total time spent in CPU is 23 seconds. Hello everyone, my name is Zain. I am here to explain the calculation of the round robin. So that the completion and arrival time is given. We have got the completion time from the Gantt chart. To calculate the turnaround time, we have the formula turnaround time is equals to completion time minus arrival time. We have the completion time minus arrival time. 23 minus 0 is 23. Similarly, 5 minus 0 is 5. 16 minus 0 is 16. 19 minus 0 is 19. And now we have to calculate waiting time. For the waiting time, we have the formula turnaround time minus burst time. We have the turnaround time and the burst time here. So 23 minus 10 is 13 and 5 minus 2 is equal to 3 and 16 minus 5 is equal to 11 and 19 minus 6 is equal to 13. Now we have to calculate the average of turnaround time and waiting time. To calculate the average of turnaround time, we have to add these all values and divide it by number of processes. So the sum of these 4 processes are, and the sum of these 4 processes of waiting time is 40. So we have to calculate the total average of turnaround time. We have the sum of 63 and 1, 2, 3, 4 processes is equal to 15.75 milliseconds. Now the average waiting time, we have to find the average waiting time. We have the sum of 40 and we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 processes. And the average waiting time is 10 milliseconds.
Did you understand the round robin algorithm?
Yes, we understood.